Having your knees feet width apart, feet comfortably facing forward, and your arms in one straight line. So keeping the knees bent, feet on the floor, your arms are just in a nice straight line, slightly off to the sides of the body. So bending your knees again, so have your knees bent. That's it, feet on the floor. And just start to connect back into your natural breath in the abdomen. Have your palms turning up to invite a sense of expansiveness into your chest. Keeping the neck in one straight line by drawing the chin slightly down towards the base of your throat. And as you invite a sense of ease into your breath in your abdomen, as you breathe in, begin to swell the abdomen out as you breathe in. And as you breathe out, emptying the abdomen out completely. And continue connecting into your breath in the abdomen, feeling it swell out like a balloon when you breathe in, and feeling it empty out completely as you breathe out. Taking this time now to center yourself back into your physical body, using your breath as a vehicle to guide you deeper and deeper into your physical body, into this practice for yourself tonight. Now more than ever, we are at a time where it is of utmost importance to be present for ourselves, to be very aware of what we are feeling within our body, to be very aware of how we can use our breath to open places that may feel slightly stuck. So as you lie on your backs, with your knees bent and your feet on the floor, maybe set yourself an intention of how you wish your practice to be for yourself tonight. Yes, we will do a general opening, strengthening, releasing of any tight areas. But what do you need for yourself in this time of change? So take this time to ponder it and then connect back into your breath, into the abdomen. And taking 3 more deep full breaths here. Expanding the breath into the abdomen on the inhalation and emptying it out completely on the exhalation. And the next time you breathe in now, take your arms over the back of your head and straighten your right leg out along the floor in front of you. As you breathe out, hug and draw your right thigh knee back into your chest. As you breathe in, straighten the right leg along the floor, arms over the back of the head, keeping the head on the ground to begin with. As you breathe out, drawing the right thigh knee into your chest. Breathing in, straightening the right leg along the floor as your arms go over the back of your head, lengthen. And as you breathe out, hugging your thigh and your knee to your chest. Pause here and take a breath in. Raise your forehead towards your knee, drawing your chin into the base of your throat. Hold. And on the out breath, soften and release the back of the head down. Keep hugging your right thigh knee into your chest. As you breathe in, curling the chin to the chest, raising your forehead to the knee. Pause with the breath held in and breathing out, releasing the back of the head down. Continue 3 more times. So you stay hugging the thigh knee into the chest. When you breathe in, you curl the chin to the chest, forehead to knee, and you hold your breath in. When you feel you need to breathe out, soften and release the back of the head into the floor. Continue 1 more time. Make sure the breath is comfortable for you when you hold it in. Keep hugging the right thigh knee into the chest as you relax the back of the head into the floor, keeping length through the back of your neck. Straighten your right leg to the ceiling, interlacing behind the back of the thigh as you draw your toes up towards your head. Keep grounding your right sit bones down into your mat. Keep flexing into your right foot, drawing your right toes towards your head. And then slowly pointing your foot away, hinging at your ankle joint. You're going to breathe in to flex your foot, extend your heel to the ceiling. And you're going to breathe out to point into the foot to open and release through the front of your feet. Continue moving with your inhalation, flexing, pausing at the peak. On the out breath, pointing the foot, pause at the end of your exhalation. Continue 2 more times, opening into the front of your foot and releasing through the back of your heel, calf. And then moving into ankle rotations. So rotate your ankle in a slow circular motion, 3 times in each direction. And then keeping your right leg up to the ceiling when you finish, take your arms down to the floor, palm facing down. Stabilize your right sit bone into the mat and start to draw circles, small circles with your right leg. The momentum is coming from your right hip, but you're drawing circles, comfortable circles. Keep the connection and awareness when you breathe in and out. And the next time your foot comes back to the ceiling, pause and draw circles in the opposite direction. Make sure that you are retaining a sense of connection of the sit bones into the floor, that the hip and the abdominal muscles are also driving this leg in a circular motion. And the next time your leg comes back to the ceiling, pause. Take a breath in as you lower your right leg in a straight line down to the floor until the heel is about 1 inch above the floor. Hold it there, and on the out breath, raise the leg slowly to the ceiling for the full length of your out breath. As you breathe in, you're lowering the right leg, extend out through your heel, just above the floor. The out breath, you are lifting for the whole length of your out breath all the way back up. Continue 3 more times. Feel you can comfortably lengthen the length of both inhalation and exhalation to be equal. Support your lower back by drawing your navel towards your mat and hug the sides of your waist into your midline. The next time your right leg comes to the ceiling, pause and then hug your right thigh knee back into your chest, interlacing your fingers on top of your shin. And then crossing your right ankle on top of your left thigh, opening your right knee and hip out towards the floor down. Take your palms onto the floor. Press your palms down into the mat. So you're on your back. You're on your back, that's it. So we're doing threading the needle. Keep your hips level, keep your knees stable, gently ground down through that left foot. So your right ankle is on top of your left thigh, not the calf muscle, just your ankle. And you're opening your right knee and hip out and down to the floor. You want to be feeling this in the outside of your right buttock and hip. Everyone stay on your back. We're not moving. We're staying on our backs. Perfect. Yep. We're just opening that right knee and hip a little bit down to feel a nice opening into your outer right glute. Now I want you to draw your left thigh and knee into your chest and interlace your hands behind the back of your left thigh and knee. Right ankle stays crossed on top of your left thigh, and you're drawing your left thigh knee into your chest, interlacing your fingers behind the back of your left thigh. Keep the back of your head soft into the ground. Pausing here, take a few more deep breaths in and out, softening the elbows. Chin draws down to the base of your throat. You want to be feeling a nice stretch into the outside of your right hip and glute. And then taking your left foot back onto the floor, take your arms out to the side at shoulder height. Come over towards the left, and bring your right foot to the floor, over to the left. That's it. So your foot stays crossed. That's it. Now feel you can gently open that top knee and hip a little bit down. You want to be feeling a nice opening into that top right hip. Breathing into this area. Come back onto your backs. Uncross. And hug both thighs and knees into your chest. Keeping your hands onto your knees. Take a breath in, chin to chest, raise your forehead as if your nose is coming towards both knees. On an out breath, soften the back of the head into the floor. As you breathe in, chin to chest, curling up, forehead towards the knees. And breathing out, soften and lengthen the back of the neck into the floor. Continue 3 more times. Make sure that the neck is not feeling any strain to it. And then relaxing the back of the head into the floor and placing both feet onto the mat. Hug your left thigh knee into your chest. Hugging your left thigh knee into the chest. Take a breath in and chin to chest, curling your forehead towards that left knee. Hold your breath in. And then as you breathe out, soften and relax the back of the head into the floor. Continue 4 more times. So as you breathe in, chin to chest, curling your forehead towards that knee. Hold the breath in, hold the head towards the knee. Breathing out, soften the back of the head down. Continue 2 more times in your own time. Relax the back of the head down as you straighten your left leg to the ceiling, interlace behind the back of the left thigh, extending the heel to the ceiling as you flex your foot, draw your toes up towards your head, grounding your left sit bones into the floor. Keep your right foot onto the mat. That's it. Interlace behind the back of your left thigh and straighten your left leg to the ceiling. Perfect. So as you breathe in, you're drawing your toes to your head. As you breathe out, you are pointing your foot, feeling a stretch through the front of your foot and shin. Continue in this way for a few more breath cycles. We're hinging at the ankle joint by flexing the foot as we breathe in and pointing the foot as we breathe out. Have a little pause between the movements so you can feel the stretch through the front of the foot when you point into your shin and into the heel and calf when you flex your foot. And then moving into slow ankle rotations on your left ankle, 3 times slowly in each direction. Keeping the left leg to the ceiling, take your arms out to the side, palms facing up. If this is too much for the lower back, the sensation is too strong, bring your arms in closer to your body. Take a breath in as you lower your left leg, extend through the heel in one straight line until the heel is just above the floor. As you breathe out with control, raise the leg back up to the ceiling, drawing the toes to your head. Continue 4 more times. The inhalation, extend through the heel as you lower the leg to just above the floor. The exhalation, raising the leg up, using the abdominal muscles to lift. Continue in your own time. Feel that you can lengthen comfortably the length of both inhalation and exhalation to match the movement. It is better to slow the breath down rather than hurry the movement. The next time you raise your leg to the ceiling, pause, hug your left thigh and knee into your chest, and then cross your left ankle on top of your right thigh. Palms to the floor, and allow your left knee and hip to open a little bit out and down. Keep your sit bones on the floor even and your hips even. Your target area, outer left glute and buttocks. And then draw your right thigh and knee into your chest and interlace your fingers behind the back of your right thigh and to thread the needle. Sit bones are even. Head is relaxed into the floor. And you are comfortably opening your left knee out and down towards the floor without imbalancing your sit bones. They stay even onto the mat. Breathing deeply and evenly here. Soften the shoulders down away from the ears. Unclench the jaw. Sometimes it helps if we smile. There we go. Okay, taking your right foot on the mat. Arms out to the side at shoulder height. Bring your left foot over to the floor to the right. It still stays crossed. You're just coming over to the right. That's it. And you want to be feeling that you can comfortably open that top knee and hip a little bit down to the floor. You want to be feeling it into your hip crease. Your foot's over to the right, not to the left. Over to the right, David. Yeah. Beautiful. All right, coming back onto your back, hug both thighs and knees into your chest. Keep the back of the head soft upon the floor. What I want you to do now is just with awareness into your lower back, we're going to extend into a little bit of abdominal work, but if it gets too much, I want you to keep your knees bent. Otherwise, on my cue, as you breathe in, straighten your legs along the floor and take your arms over the back of your head in one straight line. As you breathe out, bend the knees, hug your thighs and knees into your chest, drawing your forehead towards your knees, chin to chest. Breathing in, slide your legs along the floor as you take your arms over the back of the head, lengthen from heel to fingertip. On an out breath, bend the knees, slide the legs back, chin to chest, forehead to knee. Continue in your own time, 3 more times, or if this becomes sensations in the lower back that doesn't feel right, then just rest this out and maybe just hug your knees into your chest. Otherwise, continuing, moving with your breath to a level that suits you. The next time you draw your knees into your chest, pause. Chin to chest, forehead to knee. Hold the breath, and on an out breath, soften the head to the floor. Keep the hands on your knees. Taking your palms onto your knees and start to gently circle your knees. So your palms are on your knees. The knees stay together. We're just circling the knees, just massaging into the lower back. Just giving the knees a comfortable circle and in the opposite direction. Plant your feet on the floor, hip width apart. Feet on the mat, hip width apart, palms facing down. Keep your knees very steady. As you breathe in, press through your feet, lifting your hips and pelvis up towards the ceiling, comfortable for you. As you breathe out, slowly lowering vertebrae by vertebrae all the way back down. As you breathe in, press through your feet to lift your hips and buttocks up towards the ceiling, keeping the knees steady. And when you breathe out, slowly lowering all the way back down. Continue 3 more times. Imagine there's a block between your thighs, so without moving the knees, squeezing into the inner thighs. Chin draws down to base of throat. Keeping the feet comfortably hip width apart for you. When you breathe in, coming up. When you breathe out, slowly lowering vertebrae by vertebrae all the way down. The next time you go up, holding it there, breath flowing freely and relaxed. If it's not comfortable to hold it there, I just want you to flow your breath and flow the pose. So feel free to either hold or to come down when you breathe out and go all the way back up when you breathe in. Take a breath in, extend comfortably up for you. And when you breathe out, slowly coming all the way back down. Hugging your knees into your chest and rolling over to the side to come up to the hands and the knees. So coming onto the hands and the knees, onto your mat, spreading your fingers wide apart so your knees are underneath your hips. As you breathe in, lengthen your tailbone to your heels, drawing your chest forward as you slide your shoulder blades down your back, gazing forward and up. And as you breathe out, press the palms away, chin to chest, curling the tailbone under, navel to spine. Keep moving like this, breathing in, tailbone lengthens to heels, chest draws forward, collarbones broaden, looking up, and breathing out, curling under. Continue 3 more times. The next time you breathe out and you curl under, hold it there. The next time you breathe out and you're curling your tailbone under, chin to chest, draw the navel into the spine, hold it there. And then breathing in, coming back to the hands and the knees. Straighten your right leg behind you, curling your toes under, extending back through that heel. Raise your right leg at buttock height. Bring your left arm by your ear, palm facing in. Make sure there's a steady weight through both knees. Extend back through your heel, lengthen forward through your fingers. Draw and hug the sides of your waist into the midline. Hold it there, breathing deeply. We're not holding our breath. And then at the same time, plant your palm and your knee onto the mat. Curl your left toes under, straighten your left leg, extend back through that heel, and then raise your left leg at buttock height. Dialing your toes slightly in, and bring your right arm by the ear, palm turned in. Hold it here. Draw and hug the sides of your waist into your midline. Hold it here, breathing naturally. And then at the same time, plant your palm and your knee down. Take a breath in to hands and knees, and as you breathe out, left arm by the ear, extend back for your right leg. Breathe in, plant your palm and knee down at the same time. Breathing out, right arm, left leg, extending in opposite directions. Breathing in, planting down. Breathing out, left arm, right leg. Breathing in, planting down. Breathing out, right arm and left leg. Breathing in, planting down. Continue 1 more time on each side. Controlling the movement through your breath, keeping your knees steady and your hips in line. The next time you come back to your hands and knees pause, open your knees apart. Touch your big toes together. Gather what you need for pose of child. This is where you could put a blanket behind your knees, pillows. You can rest your forehead onto pillows or blocks. Find your supports to make your pose of child comfortable for you. Resting your forehead onto the mat. Your arms can either be relaxed with the elbows into the mat, or you can have your arms straight out in front of you, having the arms more active. Take your awareness of your breath into your lower back as if you're breathing into your lower back, expanding a sense of space here. Taking a few more breaths here. And then from pose of child, floating back up to the hands and the knees. Curl your toes under, press the mat away, and hover and lift your knees a couple of inches off the mat. Keep pressing the mat away, and then rise your sit bones up to the ceiling into your first down dog. Keep your knees quite bent. Focus on pressing the floor away, aiming the sit bones towards the ceiling. Spread your fingers comfortably apart. Send your sit bones and heels in each direction. Heels towards the floor, keeping the knees bent, but your sit bones lifting up to touch the ceiling. Relax your head, relax your neck. Deep full breaths here. Press the floor away. As if you're lifting someone up to try to touch the ceiling who's sitting onto your buttocks. And then come down to your hands and your knees. And from here, step your right foot between your hands, planting your knee right on top of your ankle. Take your hands down either side. Start to press into your back foot down into the mat. Ground down through your front foot. And bring both hands on top of your right thigh. Press through your palms as if you're trying to straighten your arms. Make sure your front knee is stable on top of your ankle. Back foot is pressing down. And from your left hip, as if this is lengthening up, bring your left arm up by your ear. Soften your shoulder blades down your back as you rise up through your left fingertips. Back foot presses down, front of chest rising, tailbone lengthening into that back heel. From here, we're going to come over to the right. So your left arm is super glued by your ear, coming over to the right. Stabilize that right foot on the floor so it's not wobbling. Stabilize that right knee. And then breathing and lifting up. Hands back either side. Shoot your hips and buttocks back. Draw your front toes up. Keep that front knee bent and your hips square. Lift out of your lower back. And then chin to chest and lengthen your torso out along that front leg. Make sure that front heel is pressing down into the back mat. Toes are drawing up. And that your sacrum and sit bones are even. Bend that front knee on top of your ankle. Curl the back toes under. Lift the back knee off the mat. Lift your hips and buttocks up a little bit higher. Left hand stays on the mat. Right palm onto the thigh. And then reach your right arm forward, circle your right arm all the way up to the ceiling, twisting to the right. Either look up towards that right hand or turn to look down towards the floor. Bend your right elbow, take your right palm on top of your sacrum and gently turn to look up to the ceiling if comfortable, or again turn to look down to the mat. Keep lifting your hips and buttocks up a bit higher, press back into that back heel. Turn to look down the mat, hands either side. I'm going to step the front foot back into a high plank. Stepping your front foot back and rolling your shoulders on top of your wrist creases. Press the mat away, lengthen your tailbone back into your heels. Lengthen through the crown of your head. Turn the corners of your mouth up. And a smile, hold it there, press the floor away. Come down to the hands and the knees, lower yourself all the way down to the floor. Setting yourself up for a low cobra. Take your forehead onto the floor, lying all the way down. Hands either side of your chest. Fingers spread wide apart. Draw your shoulder blades down your back. So bring your hands back to either side of your chest. Press through in the front of your feet, keeping the legs very active. And as you breathe in, draw your chest forward and up, curling your sternum towards the ceiling, but keep looking down at the floor. When you breathe out, lowering down. 3 more times into a low cobra. Draw your elbows in towards the side of your bodies. That's it, softening down. Keep pressing through in the front of your feet. The next time you breathe in, coming up, soften and hold your breath. Draw your shoulder blades together and down your back. Press the front of your feet into the mat. Keep your thighs active, as if you're barely touching the mat with your hands. And then soften your forehead down. Take your elbows out to the side, resting your forehead on top of your hands. So lie on your mat, forehead on top of your hands, elbows resting to the side. That's it. And just breathing into your lower back. And then taking your arms straight out in front of you, separate your arms to a little bit wider than shoulder width apart. Keep your head low. We've got 2 choices before we begin. Feel into your body. You can either do alternate arms and legs lifting when we begin, or if your lower back is feeling happy, then we're going to be lifting both arms and both legs as if we're lifting from the navel center, like a little power sun is lifting us up. So feeling into what's best for you tonight. You can keep your head low as well if that feels best rather than raising it. Otherwise, cueing as you breathe in, raising head, arms and legs off the mat, keep looking down at the floor, or alternate arms and legs. As you breathe out, gently softening and lowering back down. Breathe in to come up, and breathe out to lower down. 3 more times in your own time. If you're doing alternate arms and legs, lengthen forward through your fingers, extend back through your toes. Feel that you're lifting from the navel center. And then the next time you breathe out, coming down, take your elbows out to the side, interlace your fingers behind your head. Soften your forehead to the floor, elbows onto the floor. And just breathing into that lower back. Have your feet comfortably apart to allow to have space into your lower back. And then take your hands back either side of your chest. Curl your toes under. Press up to the hands and the knees in one straight line. And then lift up, extend back into down dog. Bending your knees and walk up to the top of your mat. Keep your feet sit bone distance apart. Bending your knees on top of your ankles, sit back onto an imaginary chair. Bring your arms up at shoulder height. Soften the breath, hold it here. And then bending the elbows out, draw your shoulder blades together. So you're drawing your shoulder blades together, chest rising. And then standing up, raising your arms overhead. And bring the palms into the center of your chest. So your feet are about hip width apart, sit bone distance apart. Take your awareness into your natural breath. Tailbone lengthening to heels. Crown of head lengthening to ceiling. Connect and feel the evenness of your weight through your feet. And then raising your arms overhead, lengthen through your fingers, soften the shoulder blades down the back, front of chest rising. Bend your knees, sit back onto an imaginary chair, knees on top of your ankles, make sure you can see the front of your feet. Tailbone lengthening down, chest rising, and then squeeze your elbows in towards the side, holding it into a modified chair pose. Knees are facing forward. And one more time, straighten the legs, take your arms over the head, and this time bend the knees and fold forward. Bend your knees, come into a forward fold. Step your right leg back, knee on the mat. Relax that back foot down. So your front foot is your left foot and your knee is on top of your ankle. Back foot presses down. Left hand on top of your left thigh and feeling a nice lengthening and opening from that right hip all the way down through that right thigh. As you press your back foot down, imagine you're drawing your back thigh up towards the front of your left foot. You're trying to drag your left foot back. Raise your right arm up, super glute by your ear. Soften the shoulder blade down and come over to your left. So you'll be feeling a nice stretch along the right side of your body. Hold it here, a few more breaths. Then raising that right arm up, take your hands down either side, shift your hips and buttocks back, draw your front toes up towards your head. Keep your sit bones even. So you're going to be drawing your left hip crease and left sit bone back and down. Grow long through the spine. And then hinge from your hips, lengthening out along that front leg. Chin down towards the base of your throat. Bend the front knee on top of your ankle. Curl your back toes under. Lift your back knee off the mat. Make sure your front knee is on top of your ankle. And then take your right hand to the outside of the mat to the right. Raise your left arm up. Either follow the gaze up through that left arm at shoulder height, or you can turn to look down to the floor. Make sure that front knee is on top of your ankle. Turn to look down to the front of your mat, hands either side of your front foot. Step your front foot back and come into a high plank so your shoulders are on top of your wrist creases. Extend into your heels. Lengthen through the crown of your head. Press the floor away. And then come down to the hands and the knees. And extend back into pose of child again. Softening your forehead to the floor. And taking what support you need behind your knees or under your forehead. Feel the breath can flow evenly into your lower back, creating the space you need here. And then come back up to the hands and the knees, curl your toes under and extend back into down dog. Bend your knees and walk your feet out to the middle of your mat. Bending the knees, sit back onto an imaginary chair as you bring your arms up by the shoulders and then press through your feet, come up to a standing position. Bring your hands into the center of your chest, so you're in the middle of your mat. Interlace your fingers, turn your palms up to the ceiling, find a focus point to look at, and come up high onto your toes. Hold it onto your toes, take your arms out at shoulder height, hold onto your toes, and then soften the heels to the floor as you soften the arms down. Joining breath and movement. As you breathe in, turn the palms up to the ceiling, come up to the toes. Breathing out, arms out to the side. Hold it as a breath in, breathing out, coming all the way down. Interlace your fingers, breathing in, coming up, breathing out, down the toes, arms out to the side, take a breath in, breathe out, soften the heels, lower the arms down. One more time, breathing in and up, out to the side, hold it for a breath in, and breathe out, coming all the way down. So have your feet maybe just a little bit wider apart, just comfortable for you. Interlace your fingers, take your palms up to the ceiling, soften your shoulder blades down the back, ground through your feet. Coming over to the right, take a breath in, breathe out to come over. Press out through your palms. Breathe in, press through your feet to come up. Breathing out and over to your left, press out through your palms, ground through your feet. Breathing in to come up. out and over to the side, in to come up, out and over to the side, in to come up. One more time on each side, out and over to the side, in to come up, out and over to the side, in to come up. Breathing out, relaxing the arms all the way down. Having your feet comfortably together, again, find a focus point on the floor to look at. Take your weight into your left foot. Bend your right knee so your knee is level with your hip. Draw your toes up so you're flexing your foot. Raise your arms overhead. Soften the shoulder blades down the back. Hold it here. Breathing deeply. And then relaxing the arms down and soften that foot down. Shift your weight into your right foot. Bending your left knee, level with your hip, flexing your foot. Raise your arms by your ears. As you press through your right foot, start to lift up through the outside of your right buttock, lifting this area up to switch it on. Hold it there. And then relaxing the foot down. What we're going to do is we're going to do a balanced pose. We're going to add on to that. So we're going to take the weight into our left foot. Draw the right knee level with the hip. Raise your arms by your ears. Then we're going to hinge forward from the hips. As we straighten the right leg behind us, bring the arms back. So it's like you're flying. Turn your right toes down. Extend out through the crown of your head. Hinge forward from the hips, bringing your right knee back level with your hip. Raise your arms up and placing your foot down. I know, interesting, isn't it? Okay, take your weight into your right foot. Bend your left knee, draw it level with your hip, flexing your foot. Bring the arms up by your ears. Hinge forward from the hip, sending your left leg behind you at buttock height. Take the arms back behind you. Lengthen through the crown of your head. Extend out through the sole of your foot. Hinge forward from the hips. Bring your left knee back level with your hip. Flex your toes. Bring the arms up by the ears. And then placing that foot back down. Come up to the top of your mat so your feet are about sit bone distance apart. Breathing in, raising your arms up, lengthen through the fingers and just send the weight evenly down for your feet. Breathing out, bend your knees, fold forward. Step your right leg back, step your left leg back and extend back into down dog. Holding it there. Press the floor away, bend your knees slightly towards your chest, relax your head down. Relax the chin to the chest, relax the head. Bend the knees slightly into the chest, send your sit bones to the ceiling, into down dog. Holding it here for a few more breaths. Building a sense of inner heat and vitality to our systems in these times, which is why we need to keep strong, inner strength as well as outer strength. One more deep breath in as you hold the pose. Breathing out as you hold the pose. Come down to the hands and the knees. And again, extend back to a comfortable pose of child for you. Soften your forehead down. Soften the arms down into the mat. Take what you need to support under your forehead for your pose of child. Take what you need to support behind your knees and buttocks. And as we hold it here, connect back into your breath. Whether it's fast or slow, connecting and feeling your breath. Feel a sense of expansion as if your whole back is expanding out as you breathe in and releasing as you breathe out. And then slowly coming up onto your hands and your knees. And then come onto your backs. So lying onto your backs. If you have a block handy. If you don't have a block, find a cushion that can support you, or a sleeping bag. Yeah, sleeping bag will do, block or bolster. So come onto your back and your feet are hip width apart, your knees are hip width apart, your toes are facing forward. So you're bending your knees. Yeah. Okay, so from here, we're going to go up into a bridge pose again. You're going to press through your feet, lift your hips and buttocks up to the ceiling, and find your block on the flat side or your cushion or sleeping bag, and place it underneath your buttocks. So we're going into a supported bridge pose. Make sure it's comfortable onto the buttocks, it's not on your lumbar. And from here, you can stay with your feet, or you can straighten your legs out along the floor. So choose to either straighten your legs or keep the knees bent, whatever feels most comfortable for you. Yes, please find something to support the back of your head. And take your awareness into the base of your throat. Become aware of your breath in and out at the base of your throat. Drawing a sense of evenness in and out here. At any stage, do feel free to bend the knees again and have your feet onto the floor. And if your legs are straight, bend your knees now, taking your knees together and your feet together. So your feet are on the floor, feet together, knees together, buttocks still held and supported. And then draw your knees into your chest and straighten your legs to the ceiling into a supported legs up to the ceiling pose, we shall call this, rather than having the legs against a wall. Feel you can sink the buttocks and the hips down into your support, whether it be block, cushion, or sleeping bag, and allow the gravity to drain down into the hips to release the legs into this pose of rejuvenation. Again, focus the awareness of your breath into the base of your throat, as if when you breathe in, you are breathing into the base of your throat, and when you breathe out, you are breathing out of the base of your throat. A few more breaths here. And then bending your knees to your chest, take your feet back onto your mat. Press through your feet, lift your hips up to remove your support underneath. Bring your back onto the floor again. Hug your knees into your chest. Taking your hands onto your knees, keeping your hands onto your knees, relax the heels down. And as you breathe in, press your knees away, keeping your hands onto your knees so your arms are extended. And as you breathe out, draw your thighs and your knees back into your chest. So as we breathe in, we're just pressing the knees away from us, elbows are extended, and when we breathe out, drawing the thighs and knees back into the chest. Do this 2 more times, releasing into that lower back. And then planting your feet onto the mat. Take your arms out at shoulder height, palm facing up. Keep your knees and your feet together. Moving into a reclining twist. Bring the knees over towards your left elbow and down to the floor. So draw your knees up and then place them down into the floor. Take what's support, like a cushion between the knees or underneath them. If the knees don't touch the floor, take a cushion underneath them or a block, and even take something between the knees to support. Arms are out at shoulder height, palm facing up, and turn your head along the floor to the opposite side of your knees. Closing the eyes down, soften the back of your shoulder blades and the back of your shoulders into the floor. And direct with awareness your breath up and down both sides of your nostrils. Watch and feel the natural flow of your breath. As you breathe in, witness the breath being drawn up both sides of the nostrils to the eyebrow center, and witness and feel the breath flooding out and down both sides of your nostrils. And then slowly come back onto your backs. Bring your knees and your feet back onto the mat. That's it. I'm going to go to the other side. So draw your knees over and up towards your right elbow, placing them down onto the floor. Take what support you need under the knees or between the knees to support your hips and lower back. Arms are out at shoulder height, palm facing up. And the eyes and the mouth are gently closed. Back of shoulder blades into the floor, back of arms sinking into the floor, head turned to the opposite side of your knees. Then closing our eyes, direct with intention and awareness the flow of your breath evenly and smoothly up and down both sides of your nostrils. Use your breath as an anchor for your mind to watch and follow, to bring yourself into a deeper sense of connection into your body. And then slowly come back onto your backs. And then roll over to your side, coming up to a seated position, sitting onto what you need to support yourself, like a cushion or a bolster. We're just going to do a few minutes of breathing practices before we lie down for a long relaxation, which I must time. So if I send it to Daryl, he can time the amount of relaxation we had. So coming up to a seated position. If it doesn't suit you to sit cross-legged, then of course don't. Place something under your knees, under your hips. Sit onto something a bit higher. And when you're comfortable and upright, I mean, of course, you can find a chair if you want to sit on. And when your spine is in one straight line and your knees and your hips are supported, again, if it's not comfortable, place something underneath them, closing your eyes down. I'm going to talk you through the 9-count breath. We have done this breath before, but rather than sneezing a breath out, which is not a good practice, not a good practice now, rather than sneezing the breath forcibly out the nostrils, what we're going to do is when we breathe out, we're going to draw the breath back down when we breathe out into the abdomen. We're going to practice together, and I will talk you through it. As we all close our eyes down, first of all, begin to connect your breath into your abdomen. Watch behind your closed eyes and feel when you breathe in, you're expanding your abdomen out like a balloon. And watch and feel as you breathe out, the abdomen drawing back towards the back of the spine, emptying it out completely. Get this breath going really deep and smooth here to begin with, in and out of the abdomen. And the next time you breathe in, expand the breath into the abdomen and breathe in as you draw the breath into the upper chest and shoulders and hold your breath in for 3, 4, 5, 6. As you breathe out and down into your abdomen. Draw the abdomen up, hold your breath out. 8, 9. As you breathe in, expand the breath into the abdomen. Keep drawing the breath up into the chest and shoulders and hold your breath in. 3, 4, 5, 6. Breathe out for 7. Breathe down into the abdomen. Draw the abdomen up and hold your breath out. 8, 9. Breathe into the abdomen for 1. Swell it out. Draw the breath up to the chest and shoulders for 2 and hold. 3, 4, 5, 6. Out for 7. Draw the breath down into the abdomen. Hold your breath out. 8, 9. Breathe into the abdomen for 1. Draw the breath up into the chest and shoulders for 2 and hold. 3, 4, 5, 6. Breathe out and down for 7. Draw the breath into the abdomen. Hold your breath out. 8, 9. Breathe into the abdomen for 1. Up into the chest and shoulders for 2. Hold. 3, 4, 5, 6. Breathe out and down for 7. Draw the navel up and in. Hold your breath out. 8, 9. Breathe into the navel for 1. Draw the breath to the chest and shoulders for 2. Hold your breath. 3, 4, 5, 6. Breathe out and down into the abdomen for 7. Hold your breath out. 8, 9. Breathe into the navel for 1. Up into the chest and shoulders for 2. Hold. 3, 4, 5, 6. Breathe out and down into the abdomen for 7. Hold your breath out. 8, 9. Breathe into the navel for 1. Upper chest 2. Hold. 3, 4, 5, 6. Breathe out for 7. Draw the breath down into the abdomen. Hold your breath out. 8, 9. Continue for 2 more rounds in your own time, drawing a sense of inner strength and vitality into your system. When you're finished, keeping your eyes closed, become aware, feeling into your whole system, body, and mind. And then take your awareness into the breath in both sides of your nostrils. Witness the natural, spontaneous breath up and down both sides of your nostrils. Begin to watch behind your closed eyes as you breathe in, drawing your breath up the left and right nostril equally, merging at the eyebrow center. And as you breathe out, your breath splits and travels back down both sides of your nostrils. Keep watching and feeling this mental balancing breath. As you draw the breath up both sides of your nostrils, imagine your breath is merging at the peak, at the top. And as you breathe out, feel, imagine your breath splitting, traveling equally down both sides, bringing a sense of equanimity and ease to your mind. The next time you watch and feel your breath travel out and down both sides of your nostrils, gently let this practice go and come down onto your back, lying into a comfortable, reclining Shavasana, relaxation pose. I hope you've all got some cozy blankets to cover yourselves up with and over your eyes. Coming onto your backs with your feet slightly out to the sides of your body. Arms slightly out to the sides of your body. Eyes and a mouth gently closed. Take what you need to be very comfortable lying upon the floor. Make any adjustments so you are even more comfortable, feeling your body spread evenly across the floor in one straight line. Take the awareness, feeling the whole body lying across the floor. Becoming aware of a sense of heaviness in the whole body, upon the floor, into your mat. Heaviness and sinking with every out breath into the floor. And then shifting the awareness to the sounds within the space you are in. Listening to a sound. And then extending your awareness to the sounds beyond the room you are in, beyond your house. Keep listening for new and distant sound. We are not analysing sound, merely listening to all sounds. Bring your awareness back into the room you are in. The awareness of listening and feeling your breath in and out of your body. As you breathe in, feel that your whole body is expanding outwards in all directions. And as you breathe out, feel your whole body is releasing inwards, expanding out as you breathe in and releasing inwards as you breathe out. Keep feeling into this practice. Bring the awareness now back to the natural breath in both sides of your nostrils. The awareness of the spontaneous breath. And now take your awareness and feel into the major body parts as I name them. Feeling into them, seeing them in your mind's eye, and then letting them go, moving from part to part as they are named. Begin down at your 10 toes, soles of your feet, top of your feet, ankles, heels, lower legs, kneecaps, back of knees, tops of thighs, backs of thighs, hips, buttocks, lower back, upper back, your spine from base to top, back of your neck, back of your head, crown of your head, your forehead, both sides of your temples, both ears, eyebrows, the space between your eyebrows, right eye, left eye, bridge of nose, nostrils, right cheek, left cheek, mouth, jaw, and chin, right collarbone, left collarbone, base of throat, right side of chest, left side of chest, right upper abdomen, left upper abdomen, right lower abdomen, left lower abdomen, the whole of your right leg from hip to toe, the whole of your left leg from hip to toe, right arm, left arm, both legs together, both arms together, the whole back of your body, the whole front of your body, and all at once feeling into your whole body, feeling into your whole body lying upon the floor. Now take your awareness up to the space behind your closed eyes, into your mind space. Gaze into the space as if you're looking up into a clear night sky. Gaze into the space and become the witness of any thoughts, colors, pictures, or patterns. We are not becoming involved or analyzing. We are merely the witness, the ever-present watcher of our mind. If you find yourself getting caught up within a thought or a feeling, bring yourself back to being the witness, the watcher. And then slowly start to withdraw the awareness from watching the mind space now. Withdrawing the awareness. Come back to feeling your physical body lying upon the floor. Full awareness of your physical body.
I think she's disappeared.